Hello everyone and welcome to ScottyDGaming. Today we're going to be doing an on the fly review for Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. Now, we all know that this series is a prestigious series of games. They've all got top quality production values. They are all AAA games, there's no doubt about that, and I have enjoyed playing this whole series, including this game itself. Now, a little background about this game and what I have played of it. When it first came out, I played the game through on the hardest difficulty setting. Now, this is the first game in the series to allow you to play through the game on crushing out of the box. You didn't have to do a previous playthrough, you could just play through on the box, out of the box like that. Now, I feel personally that it was a mistake for me to do so, because I think it left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because it's so fucking hard on crushing. I do believe it spoilt the experience for me, but a few months after that, I decided to record a playthrough and just play it through on the light setting so I could just enjoy the game, the gameplay, the story, the characters and everything. Just enjoy it without being stressed to bits off the difficulty. And I had so much fun. So with those two things in mind, I'm going to give you my view on the game on both aspects of like how hard it can be and the story and things like that. So to start off with, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, or I'm not going to go into too much depth in the story, although I'll give you a brief overview of what it's about. The story of the game is basically you've got your Drake Fortune, your Nathan Drake from the previous three games. And he's, after Uncharted 3, he's settled down with his girlfriend Elena, and they went straight. They're not doing any of this treasure hunting malarkey. They're too old for this shit. And Helena's pursuing her journalism and book writing, and Nathan Drake is doing, he's actually working for a haulage company, a sea haulage. So they go out, and if anybody has any ships that have sunk with products on, they will go out and retrieve that for them for a fee. And because of Nathan Drake's extensive, great CV, history, jobs that he's been doing, he's great at it. Goes underwater diving missions, things like that, and it seems like they're both happy doing it. Although you will find out, which is great how the game portrays it, is they're finding it a bit stale. You can tell that they miss the excitement of blowing people up, just like what happened on screen there, and they miss the adventure. But the game does a great job of portraying that, which I'll talk about in the characters and stuff. So at the start of the game, well, this is the opening sequence, but not far into the game, which is just after the initial sequence, which is the tutorial of the game showing you how to fire and shoot and things like that, which is what you're seeing on screen now, is you learn that Nathan Drake has got a brother called Sam, and it starts you off in the like an orphanage, just to give you a bit of history of their background and things like that. And it's a nice introduction to a character, which is Sam, Nathan Drake's brother, and he's an integral part of the story as well. Now, I'm gonna move on to, since we're already at the characters. So the characters, you're gonna be seeing some familiar faces. You've got Drake Fortune, you've got Elena, you've got Sully, and you've got, what's his bloody name? Nathan, Sam, Sully, and Elena. Yeah, those are the four. Well, three familiar faces, and Sam's a new face, which is his brother. Now, oh well, there you go on the screen now. That's Nathan Drake as he was a young boy, and that's what's happening there. So, as regards to bad guys, there's not any returning bad guys in this. It's a fresh story. It's fresh faces. You've got two now. It's hard to say that there are actually bad guys in the game, because it's a bit grey. It's a grey area, and that's what I do like about what the game's done. Now you've got another two characters, a character called Nadine, which is she owns a mercenary business, and throughout this game you will be encountering a mercenary group called Shoreline, and Nadine is the head of those. And she's an excellent character. She's not bad, she's not good, she's just there doing a job. That's why I like her. And another character you've got called Rafe, and at the start of the game he's working with Sam, which is your brother, and Nathan, which is you, Nathan Drake, and you are looking for the treasure of Henry Avery, which is a famous pirate from the past who was apparently the richest pirate. He had the most loot, gold, diamonds, rubies, everything of all of the pirates in history, and that's what you're looking for throughout the game. That's what the story revolves around. The whole thing is the treasure of Henry Avery, and you will be finding out a lot about that through journal entries, things like that. Now, the gameplay of the game is, well, we've come onto it pretty handy, because you're going to be seeing now your little Nathan Drake, and you're going to be doing like a little climbing in that tutorial. So while you're watching that, I'll explain the gameplay. So a lot of the gameplay, you're going to be running around looking for ledges to climb, climbing up them, hammer and X, because all you're going to be doing in the climbing scenes is holding up on the analog stick and hammer and X to climb from ledge to ledge. It sounds a bit flippant to say that's what you do, but it really is. I tend to find, like, if you play a game like Tomb Raider or something, but the old Tomb Raider, sorry, maybe not the new ones, the climbing areas and sections are like puzzles. You've got to find out where you're going. I find that the climbing areas on this game are strictly just a way to pace the game, possibly to stretch it out, give you a chance to take in the epic visuals of the game. And I've got to admit, I did find them a tad boring. At the start of the game it's not so bad, because it's interrupted with story, it's interrupted with gunplay, it's interrupted with other things to do apart from climbing. But it is a majority of what I'd say it's a majority of what you're going to be doing in the game. Another part of the game is, which you've just saw on the screen there, which is press triangle to interact or press square to interact. Now that mechanic of the game really boils me piss. I'm sure we are past the days where we have to press buttons over and over again to proceed. It's boring, it's archaic, it's mundane. But the saving grace of this game is what I found out in my second playthrough. In the options menu, you've got an option to toggle hold to interact. So instead of pressing the button over and over and over and over again to get an action done, you can just hold the button down until it's complete. Now I did enable that for the playthrough that I've got uploaded to my channel, and it did make the game a lot easier. I didn't get a sore thumb. I didn't have to hear the bloody click 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 throughout the fucking microphone. You just hold it down and you get the action done. There you go. He's pressing triangle to open a fucking door again. It gets beyond a joke once you've played 20 hours of the game and that's what you're doing. Now I'll try and find for you, if you give me a second, we'll go over I'll come back to him. We will go, I'm just flicking through, if you give me a second. There we go. Right, so what we've got here is, you're going to be seeing a bit of the type of actiony playthroughs you're going to get. So the action in this game does involve, you got a bit stealth, like you can hide in grass and you won't be seen. You can hide off ledges like this. You can do stealth attacks, boosh, there you go, drag people to their doom. And then you've got your shooting, which I'm sure will appear soon enough. because I'm pretty sure I fucked this scene up. But yeah, the shooting feels great. It's not as tight as strictly third-person shooters like Gears of War, but it's tight enough for you to enjoy the gunplay. Now, the weapons in the game, you've got a plethora of weapons, not too many, not loads of guns, but there's enough for you to enjoy. The gun that you're going to be mainly using, which I found myself mainly using, would be a pistol. And if you can find yourself any single shot pistol, it's going to be your go-to weapon, because you can use it while hanging off ledges. It's very accurate for your headshots, and you get plenty of ammo for it, which is always a good thing. Now, a few of the other weapons you've got are your assault rifles, which is my preferred choice of weapon for actually continuing and getting through the game. Use the assault rifle, but as you'll see through my playthrough, I love shotguns. I don't care if it's going to get us killed. I want to run up to a motherfucker, stick it in their face and blow them away. You know what I mean? I love shotguns, and it does get you killed at times, but it's up to you what you do. You've also got grenades, your general explosives, and your red barrels, which are kicking about the levels for you to shoot and kill people with as well. The other aspects of the gameplay, there's your exploration, which I don't really feel that the game rewards you too much for exploration. I do find the levels to be fairly linear, that they're not too big. You're not going to get lost in the levels. It's not exactly open world, although there are open world areas in the game, such as, if you give me a moment, such as there's a particular, if you look now, it's absolutely beautiful, where you do get to use some vehicles in the game. Like, there are boats for you to drive, there are cars for you to drive, which in this instance we're using a Jeep, and you get to travel throughout what looks like a massively open area. It's not. You can only go certain things, otherwise you'll fall and die off the edge. Even though it looks like you can actually go there, you really can't. And it does break up the gameplay. You've got lots of different aspects of the gameplay, which does keep it interesting, although towards the end of the game it's the climbing that just bores the fucking dog shit out of you. The audio of the game is phenomenal. Like I say, the voice acting of every single character in the game, everybody you talk to, everybody that's got dialogue is top tier. It's none of it is dialed in. Everyone sounds genuine, authentic. It's something that it's on par with a multi-million-pound movie. This game has got phenomenal production values, and it is the best. I'm gonna say it. It's probably the best production game, the highest quality game that I've ever played. It's just, how am I gonna say it? I just think that although with all the production values and the hype that the game gets, I don't actually know if it's the best Uncharted game of the four. And I'm gonna go into saying a bit why. Now, the other games, I'm gonna say it straight away now. Uncharted 2, in my opinion, is the best Uncharted game. I'd say followed by Uncharted 2, then 1, then this one. I would put this game in last place of the Uncharted series, but not because it's a bad game. It really isn't. I just feel that on the whole, it's not as interesting. The places you visit aren't as exciting. It's kind of lost the Indiana Jones feel, and that's what I think a lot of people liked about the first few games. Is was all about adventuring and the excitement, the fun. You got to meet new characters. Oh, actually, there's another thing. This is the first I've just thought about. I've never even crossed my mind before. This is the first game in the series that hasn't got a supernatural element to it. I mean, the other games you were fighting bloody fucking blue baboon people and things like that. This, you haven't. It's all down to earth. It's all based in reality, which is really good. Now, one of the instances I'm going to tell you about the game that really wound us up, and it wound us up in my first playthrough when I was playing it on Crushing, and it also wound us up in my light, fun story playthrough, and that was towards the end of the game, you're investigating like ship ruins and things like that, and I've lost my train of thought. Yes, sorry. You're investigating the pirate treasure areas and things like that. Now, there's a part where you go in a cave and it's dark, and you can clearly see where the way forward is, and I was trying to climb up it, trying to proceed, and nothing. Now, I was stumped for a while, and the reason why I couldn't proceed was because I didn't go to an area which was clearly blocked off. Press triangle or square to interact with it, for Nathan Drake then to turn around and say, oh, the area is blocked off, we must find another way to go. And I just thought, like, really? This is fucking archaic. It's ridiculous. Why are you treating your audience like dumb fucks? You know what I mean? Another instance which happens just before that bit, and it's all at the end of the game. Like, oh, and also so many things just pop back into my mind why it pisses off. In the same section where it goes dark, it introduces a new gaming mechanic, and you only use it the once in the entire game in that section, which you're already pissed off about, is to shake the control pad, or like knock the control pad using the fucking 6-axis to light a match. Mate, if I wanted to use motion controls, I'd use the fucking PlayStation Move, and the reason why I don't do that is because it's dog shit. I don't want to do that with the control pad, and it's really frustrating trying to flick your pad to even see if you're doing anything right, only for the game to actually let it work. Before that section though, you investigate in a room looking for a secret switch. Now, I investigated a lot of items, and I also tried to investigate an item that it wouldn't let me investigate. So here we are, going to every item in the room to press square to interact with it. Only once you've pressed square to interact with every item in the room does your partner who you're with go over to the item that doesn't let you interact with it and go, oh, by the way, there's a switch under here for you to proceed. I just felt like it was wasting my time at that point, just prolonging the inevitable, when I got an inkling that that's where the switch would be, but the game wouldn't let you do that unless you'd done all of the other options. You had to play it the way the game wanted you to play it, and that fucked me off to no end. So how far? We're 80 minutes in. I'm going to try and wrap it up within 20 minutes. In conclusion, it's an excellent game. I would highly recommend it to anyone to buy. I would recommend everyone to play it, and it's an excellent game in the series, just not my personal favourite. I'm just going to try and find a video, if you give me a second. There we go. I'm just going to let you see a bit of the beautiful graphics of the water while we'll talk about the ending of the game, just because I'm feeling a beach-like mood, you know what I mean? I fancy some sun and that. Now, if I was to give this game a rating, what would I give it? I've already described how I feel it is in the series of just Uncharted games. I do feel it's my least favourite Uncharted game, but that's not to say it's bad or anything. It's still a top tier game. As a rating, now I don't rate games out of 10 because I truly think a game is something that you should either play or avoid. And the stuff that do float about the middle, but if I say it's shit, I wouldn't play it. If I say it's worth playing, then even if it's not the best game, it's still worth playing. It's a good experience. This is definitely worth playing. Definitely at the top of the scale for worth playing. So the rating that I would give this game is an Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. It's the worst one out of the series. It has, however, got the best production values, it's got the best graphics, oh shit man, I didn't even talk about the fucking graphics in the game, and who gives a fuck, you know it's the best graphics in the game. The graphics are the best out of the lot, it's got the best CGI, the best everything, the best technology going into it. The gameplay is more refined than the other games, the mechanics are. I just feel that the pacing, and it doesn't quite hit the mark like the other games. So that's the rating I'm going to give it. It's got a Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. The biggest, newest, best technically version. However, it just falls short because it's just not as good. And the nostalgia is starting to wear a bit thin. So there we go. That's my on-the-fly review of Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I hope you've enjoyed it. Go out, buy the game, play the game if you haven't. If not, watch the playthrough. You'll enjoy it. It's like a fucking cinema. It's like a 20-hour movie. You'll enjoy it. In a bit, lads.